The common sense question should be, why would a majority black city have a police force that's primarily made up of whites? You got to be on the stupid side to do that in the first place. Why would you hire white people in a majority black city, arm them, give them a badge, and give them a club to beat the hell out and shoot black folk? But that was a frequent thing. Still goes on. I go to any major city right now that's predominantly black, the police force would be primarily whites. And you should ask yourself, well, why would black folk do that? It's a form of suicide. They authorize whites to come in and beat them and shoot them. But see now, but if I go into a white neighborhood in a rural area, any place in this country, I'm not going to find white rural communities that are majority white people in it, where they're hiring majority blacks, we're giving them guns to be over them. That's the whole thing about the gun control. Why do the white neighborhoods, white communities never have a majority black police force over them? But I go to any major black city, and you'll find that they hire whites to be over them to dominate them. It's a form of suicide. They've been doing it for so long. They do it automatically, and then they turn around and complain about white police brutalizing them and shooting them. That why they do it? They said, why do they do it? Because you allowed them to do it. You authorized them. You gave them the badge. You gave them the club. You gave them the gun. That's why they do it. They do it because they can do it. And you don't do anything about it. They know it. And once you try to prosecute one for doing it, something that's abusive to black folk, he goes to the court system, and you find all the prosecutors, 95% of the prosecutors are whites, and about 95% of all the lawyers in America are white. All the federal judges are primarily white, and the Supreme Court is primarily white. You haven't got a snowball's chance of getting justice. So that's why you need to build your own communities, hire your own police force, and see the Chinese learned this way back in the 1800s. You cannot go to Chinatown to find white policemen in Chinatown. Why wouldn't blacks do what the Chinese were doing? In Chinatown, they had a general rule that says that we don't need to have white police officers in Chinatown. We don't want any white police in Chinatown brutalizing white folk. Brutalizing Chinese. Because here we take care of our own people. And that's when they had two groups. One was called the Hatchet Men, the other was called the Tongs, which means it said to this, that if you live in Chinatown, you're a Chinese person, and you violate or kill another Chinaman, that you better get out of town before the sun went down. If you don't, your butt's you're gonna be floating in the river. And see, right now, that's called accountability. Every neighborhood, every group has accountability. Even the Indians, Arab, they had accountabilities in their community, which says you cannot violate your sister or brother in this community and get away with it. We don't have an accountability in our communities. We don't have a code of conduct that says you cannot live in our community and violate other black folk and hurt and kill them and slaughter them because you got a pistol and get away with it. Because if you do, we're not going to call it. We're not going to call the police. If you do something bad in our community, once we build our communities, we're not going to call the police to come arrest you. They said, we're going to take care of you. We're going to call the police to come to cut you down from the tree. We'll take care of you. And the black folk must come up with a code of conduct saying, if you come in here and do things against our people and think you're going to get away with it, you got to get another thought coming.